to another episode of
I
Take D. We want to remind you that this is the I Take D ministry on Facebook. If you could please view our videos, and also like the page and share with others. And if you have any questions that you would like for us to answer, private message us on the Facebook page, and we would answer those questions on our next episode. Also, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss or to share from our own experience, the same thing, private message us and send us a message and let us know. Like, hey, could you touch up this subject or this topic, and we will try our very best to bring that topic or bring answers to the questions you may have. So today's topic is avoiding the greener grass view, or like others like to call it, the green grass syndrome. Or mentality. And I would like to start with a quote that I like a lot. It says, "If you think the grass is greener on the other side, then stop hanging out by the fence." So be very, very careful. As I think about the greener grass view or syndrome, I have to think about how a lot of times it all starts with a what if. I remember an occasion where there was a friend that she was an old friend from high school, and we ran into each other in Walmart. And, we saw each other and we were like good friends. And so she gives me a hug and I give her a hug and we're trying to catch up. And when we're leaving, Carla's like, did you guys date or something? And I'm like, no, we didn't. We really didn't. But there was feelings. We did have feelings when we were in high school. We just never really, kind of take those feelings further. And I was a little I was a little like not concerned. I was just I was wondering why Carla felt the way she did. And she's like, the way she hugged you was a little too tight. And I'm like, what? Because let me tell you guys, men, women, they have that intuition. They know how to tell when other females and men are like, what? I really didn't. I didn't notice anything, but she did. And it was so funny because I took it more like, oh, I'm catching up with an old friend. And Carla's like, that hug, she was trying to do more than catch up.
It meant something else.
It meant something else. And you know what? At first, I'm like, babe, no, that's not true. But not too long after, she found us on Facebook, and she actually requested us. And it was there when I noticed. I was like, oh. Because what happened to me is that I started to think about, you know what? This friend, her and I never really took it a step further. And by just connecting with her, not thinking anything at the beginning, but once she's requesting us, and now we have access to her social media, my mind starts playing tricks on me, and it says, you know what? This lady and it never took us anywhere. Not that I was thinking about taking it anywhere, but it all started with like, I never actually took the step to ask her out.
The what if.
And then the what if started coming in my life. I decided, what if that happened? Like, would I be married now to Carla? And all these things start playing in my head, not knowing that was actually a door. That if I didn't stop it right there and then, and so Carla, when she requested us, she's like, first she didn't recognize her. She's like, hon, there's a girl who's requesting us on Facebook. I don't recognize her. And we're on our way on vacation, and Carla's, I'm driving, Carla's scrolling through our social media, and I'm like, what's the name? And she gives me the name. And you know what? Let me be honest, and I shared this with Carla before. I was tempted to be like, oh no, it's all right, because she didn't remember it was a girl from Walmart. But something inside of me told me, tell her the truth. And I said, hon, that's the girl from Walmart. And that's when Carla said, "Oh, we're not accepting this request." And we did it. And you know what? I think back now, and when we talk about it, I'm so glad you did it, because you know I tell the Bible study class all the time, the adult class, don't ever trust your flesh. And you know what? This was a moment where I could have said, it's gonna be okay. It's not a big deal. Maybe not then, but little by little, the what is would have started taking toll in my life. Instead of thinking about the what is with my own spouse, like this is now. So instead of thinking of the what is with that person that never happened, nothing ever happened. So why not think about the what is with my spouse? Like, why should I just have the what if I love her more? What if I care for you more? What if I pay attention to you more? What if I listen to you more? Instead of thinking of the what is that really never took place.
Absolutely. I think, we women have that instinct, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Men can do their own little things, but we have that inner instinct of something's not quite right. And let me be honest, for those women who kind of had the instinct and then like, oh, not a big deal, and then it turned out to be something else, it's like, well, you were in denial. But for me, I'm cautious of my marriage. I water my lawn. I take out the weeds when we need to take out the weeds. I make sure my lawn is taken care of. I make sure that my husband knows that I love him by complimenting him in his clothing or what he's wearing. I want to make sure that my lawn is green. Because when these moments come of temptation, and those moments will come in our marriages, right? Of old flings, ex-boyfriends, ex-friends, and friends who wanted something more but never happened, and they all of a sudden, like, this female runs, oh my God, I ran into him, and maybe we can take it a step further. There are women out there that don't respect your marriage at all.
There are men out there that don't respect.
Exactly. And others is like they're intrigued by a husband that, oh, he's married, he likes commitment. They're drawn to that. Don't get it twisted. They're drawn to that wedding band because they're looking for someone that can be committed, and they know that person is. So by paying attention to those little things, right? And being honest with each other, like Joel was, you know what, honey? No. And again, when we were talking about the whole social media and business marriage, asking my husband, hey, do you know this so-and-so? Asking about the friends request on Facebook. That's one of the things that also saved things that could have landed somewhere else in our marriages. That's what I'm saying. Don't be afraid of sharing your social media with your spouse, because if you have nothing to hide, then why not share with your spouse? Mm-hmm. So those little moments, like, women know. And I had that instant, and I thank God for the discernment that potentially could, if I would have ignored it, could have probably damaged something in our marriage. And I just want to be clear and let you know and understand that when adultery is committed in a relationship, when infidelity occurs in a relationship, it's like a barrier that you built together in your marriage, and all of a sudden it's broken. And for all those who know about construction and building walls, it takes time to rebuild that wall. It takes time and hard work to rebuild it. That's what infidelity causes in a marriage. So just remember that it's hard to build that. So go by those instincts. Ask the questions lovingly and respectfully. Ask those questions to your spouse if you feel something that is not quite right. Don't feel wrong by questioning. Because if he's threatened by the questioning, I'm sorry, there must be something there that needs to be unpacked. Yeah. Because if nothing's happening, then the husband should not feel offended that something's being questioned. So don't be afraid of asking those questions, because it can potentially save your marriage from other things.
Yeah. The other thing about avoiding the greener grass view is not comparing your marriage to other marriage or other couples. We're all different, and now that we're married, we're one, so we're different from another unit or another unity, another couple, other people. We're not the same. So don't compare your marriage to someone else's. Oh, look at Joel and Carla, they look so happy. If you only knew the background and the things and the baggages that we've had to unfold, the things we've had to take out, the things we have to share with each other, the moments where we didn't get along, the moments where we disagree, you know, the moments where we hurt each other through our words, you know, the moments we're not getting along. And you know, our marriage takes effort, and so does yours. And don't look at our marriage and try to compare your marriage to our marriage, because we shouldn't do the same with you. I mean, that's just it creates issues, because then what happens is, you know, your wife wants you to be like me, or your husband wants you to be like Carla, and Carla's Carla, and Joelle is Joelle. And let me tell you, you know, that's not the way to go. Don't compare your marriage to anybody else but yours. Exactly. Your marriage. You know, from our point of view, we just want to share with you guys, you know, tips and ways that you can avoid it. But don't compare your marriage to ours, because our marriage is unique to us. This is the Joelle and Carla relationship. I'm not in your home. I'm not in your car. I'm not in your job. I'm not in your conversations. I'm not there. I'm not part of your family. And so, and what I mean by family, yes, we're all brothers and sisters in Christ, but what I mean is your intimate family, the family within. And, you know, those are things that you got to deal with it in your own. You had, I like your perspective on, like, you make sure you water your grass. And tell me a little bit more about that. I like that.
So, you know, it's by you looking at someone else's, you know, lifestyle. It's like, oh, I wish I had that. I wish my spouse was that way. That's something that you're already looking, like your quote that you stated, looking over the fence. You're already looking over the fence.
Paying too much attention.
Paying too much attention to over the fence. And what happens when you begin to go over the fence and taking care of that lawn and water that lawn, you know, and then you neglected your own lawn. So now you invested your time, your efforts in someone else's property that is looking this marvelous view, and now back home you have neglected yours. It's like now you wasted all this time in something that it doesn't even belong to you. It's your neighbors, it's next door. And now your marriage is drowning because you didn't take care of it.
Yeah, that's an interesting view. I mean, you're taking care of somebody else's lawn, and then it's not even yours. So you get back to yours, the other person's benefiting from a nice lawn, and yours is looking all brown and shady. Like, take care of your own lawn. And I think, you know, a lot of times when you think the grass is green on the other side, be careful, because that might not be real grass. That might be turf. So just be very, very careful that you're not comparing your relationship or thinking about the what is in somebody else's lawn when somebody else's lawn is actually fake. It's all a facade. Especially today, people be posting some crazy stuff, and you're thinking, oh wow, you know, people are like, look at my man, or look at my girl, and look at this and look at that, and look what I'm wearing, look what I have, look what I bought, look what I'm doing, look where I went. And not understanding that a lot of times that's all either filters, or they're exaggerating their experience, they're exaggerating the story. We got to be very, very careful.
We definitely do, because the grass is always greener where you water it. So that's why my whole perspective of always making sure my lawn is the best one in the corner of my neighborhood, because I need to take care of what's mine and not care about what's not even my property.
So make sure that it's a beautiful day in your neighborhood. Again, this is I Take D Ministry. Follow us on Facebook, like our page, watch our videos, share with others. You know, if you have any questions or any topics that you would like for us to share during one of our videos and one of our episodes, private message us and let us know. Until next time on I Take D.